Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to author Barbara Rodgers. Barbara is a certified health coach and author of Wholey Cow, which focuses on eating a healthy diet of whole foods and eating a healthy lifestyle that includes moderate exercise, healthy relationships, spiritual care, and enjoyable work. Hi, Barbara. First of all, welcome and thank you for coming on Book Talk Radio Club.
Oh, hi, Claire. Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Barbara, tell me why the title Wholey Cow? And listeners, that's holy with a Wholey.
Well, that's a good question. I actually get quite a few people asking me that. Okay, I'll explain it. A few years ago, I developed iron deficiency anemia, and it really hit me hard. I've always been a high energy person and a go-getter, and I just didn't know what was wrong with me.
Sure.
I just remember going to work and just staring at my computer. I couldn't concentrate and was extremely fatigued and tired. And on top of that, I noticed that my hair had been falling out over the last year or so. And it was more than just a few strands in the shower.
Oh my goodness.
It actually kind of was coming out in clumps, but no one really noticed because I have a lot of hair.
Yeah.
But it bugged me because it felt different, and I wanted to find out why. And one day when I was resting, it kind of dawned on me that maybe this fatigue and poor concentration and hair loss had something to do with the iron levels in my body. So I decided to do a Google search with my symptoms, and up came all these articles on iron deficiency and anemia.
Right.
And I began to read, through the articles, and after reading them, I was convinced that this was what was wrong with me. So what I did is I made a doctor's appointment. And after, a number of tests, I found out that I was right. So my doctor prescribed iron supplements and eating an iron-rich diet. And one of the best sources of iron is beef, which is why I wanted to use a cow for the cover. And whole foods, especially fruit and vegetables, also, contain quite a bit of iron.
Sure.
And I chose to focus on, eating things like, spinach and kale, and other things as well.
Sure.
So for the title, I kind of used a play on words with the phrase "Wholey Cow" and decided to tie it into whole foods.
Very clever. So the iron deficiency was a catalyst that turned the interest into a passion then?
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, after I was diagnosed with iron deficiency, I just kind of started thinking about it, and I was confused on how I developed it in the first place, and I wanted to get better fast because I just wasn't feeling like myself. So I felt compelled to learn more about nutrition, and after doing, I did a little online research, and I stumbled upon the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which is a well-known nutrition school, and I decided to enroll in their health coach training program.
It's amazing, isn't it, how something can just turn our life into a totally different direction than we expect.
Yeah, that's for sure. So yeah, and in the program, then I learned over 100 different dietary theories, as well as different coaching techniques. And then after I graduated, I also they had a Launch Your Dream Book course. So I decided to take that and write a book based on, my experience with iron deficiency anemia, and then tie it into, I found a lot of commonalities among diets, and, to help people that have, both have an iron deficiency and others as well, to improve their eating habits and their lifestyle.
You use this passion to connect and help others going through changes and challenges to help them feel balanced again. How does feeling balanced help people that are going through a challenge? Can you explain that?
Sure. Well, there are many things that can make a person feel out of balance, such as becoming an empty nester, losing a loved one, not having the right job,
Mm.
divorce, things like that. And anyway, in my book, I actually have a chapter titled "Ask What's Missing." And that focuses on things that can be out of balance in our lives, such as work, relationships, spirituality,
Yeah.
exercise,
Mhm.
those types of things. And so if one of those is out of balance or missing in your life,
Mm.
it's easy to feel off, or not right. And many times people will turn to food to make themselves feel better.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you, um, help correct the imbalance,
Mm.
most people will feel happier and not necessarily look to food for comfort anymore, and so they naturally become healthier.
Wholey Cow is organized around 7 guiding principles. What are they, and why do people need to follow them?
Okay, yeah, the 7 guiding principles in my book include food is fuel, know thyself, reach for rainbow colors, less is more, quality versus quantity, make conscious choices, ask what's missing, and
Mm.
take charge. And I would say that people need to follow um, these principles, use them as a simple guide to get back to the basics of eating. There's a lot of nutrition books out there, but not everyone necessarily wants to read a lot of studies or statistics.
Mm.
But my book is pretty straight to the point and gives easy guidelines and tips to follow for healthy eating and living.
Can readers sample a chapter of your book to give them a taster, and pardon the pun, of course, of your recommended lifestyle?
Um, yes, I have. Actually, I didn't quite hear what you said.
I asked you if readers can sample a chapter of your book.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
um, yeah, I have a free downloadable chapter available both on my website and on my Facebook page, and people can go to and download, to get a taste of the book.
What is your website address?
Um, my website is barbararodgersonline.com,
Lovely, lovely.
and my Facebook page is Barbara Rodgers Health Coach.
One of your titles is entitled "Reach for Rainbow Color." I love the sound of that, but what does it mean?
Well, when I say reach for rainbow colors, I'm talking about adding more fruit and vegetables to your diet.
Right.
Many people do eat fruits and vegetables, but most people aren't eating enough.
Yes.
Um, Vegetables, especially greens, are important because they contain vital nutrients that we can't necessarily get from other food sources or just vitamins. And in my book, I talk about how we should actually be eating, vegetables at every meal.
Mm.
And then for myself, this became really important because I needed to get a certain amount of, iron in my diet.
Mm.
And, typically I did eat vegetables for lunch and dinner, but not necessarily at breakfast. So I began to, add more vegetables, at breakfast time, especially, by adding them into smoothies or eggs or making green juice, that type of thing.
Right.
And, we can all do this type of thing and, make a conscious effort to add more fruit and vegetables into our diet by, using them for a snack or adding them into different foods that we prepare. I often eat spinach like 3 times a day. Um, again for having it in breakfast or salad at lunch, or adding a handful or two
Mm.
into like spaghetti or stir fried or something like
Yep.
that.
I couldn't imagine not eating vegetables. I absolutely love vegetables. To me, the more vibrant the colour, it's I have this thing. The more vibrant the colour, the more goodness there is in it.
Yeah, that's true. And each color, each different color has their own unique nutrients. So
Mm.
it's very important to get a variety of those rainbow colors.
Exactly. You talk about making conscious choices. I used to, this was before I was eating all the vegetables, I used to wander around the supermarket with my mind elsewhere, picking up processed food. But when I consciously started to make a list of the items I need for recipes and the food I bought and buy now, I would say is 90% healthy. Is that what you mean by conscious choice?
Well, that's definitely one way to make conscious choices. Another thing you can do is to shop the perimeter of the grocery store.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the U.S., um, the perimeter of the grocery store contains the produce department, meat department, dairy,
Sure.
and bakery, and this is where you're going to find the majority of whole foods.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can also make conscious choices by, reading the food labels and selecting those products that have fewer ingredients, and avoid the ones that, have these hard to pronounce names because who knows what you're eating then.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah, and you can also make conscious choices, when you're eating out. Here in the U.S., most restaurants serve, large portions that are probably really at least two servings.
Yes, true.
So what you can do is, share an entree with, another person, and
Sure.
cut it in half, take the other half home.
Just because it's
Um,
there, you don't have to eat it.
right,
Or eat
right,
all of it, as it were.
yeah. And you can, also choose healthier options from the menu, or better yet, cook more meals at home.
Yes,
Because when you cook at home, you're in charge of what you're eating and
exactly.
the ingredients that you use. So you can look for good quality produce.
Hmm.
Organic is always the best bet. Um, and you can also become aware of, the Dirty Dozen, which is, a list of the top 12 most heavily sprayed um, produce, and you want to try to avoid those as
Yeah.
well.
We know there's an obesity epidemic causing health issues both in the US and here in the UK. How did we get to this state of affairs? What's it all about?
Well, that's another good question, but from the beginning of time, people ate from the land. They ate fruit, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, spices, meats, things that were available,
Mm.
and they ate for sustenance. Um, our food today has dramatically changed, especially over the last 50 years or so. Um, Industrialization, factory farming,
Mm.
and big businesses have all contributed to the growth and the evolution of food.
Mm.
And many people today are eating the wrong types of foods. Um, they eat from a bag, a box, or a drive-through
Mm.
instead of eating, real whole foods, which come from the land or animals.
Mm.
And this is why it's so important to get back to the basics of eating, so you can eat foods that nourish your body without all the chemicals and preservatives that a lot of these processed foods contain.
I think a lot of it's laziness as well. Why and the way our lifestyles are. We go out to work, and the last thing we want to do is come back and having to start cook a dinner and start chopping and mixing and what have you. So, but people just buy boxes full of chemicals. I can toxic chemicals. But there's this thing called a slow cooker. Which is
Right.
brilliant. Yeah, you don't have to just because you're exhausted and tired from a day's work doesn't mean to say you've got to go out and buy a box of food. Yeah, I always find it amazing, but there you go. So tell me, what is the difference to you between a diet and eating healthily?
Well, I would say the difference between a diet and healthy eating is, most diets restrict, certain foods or focus only on eating, a grouping of foods. Eating healthy, on the other hand, focuses instead on choosing foods that nourish your body. Again, going back to the basics of eating. I like what Michael Pollan says in his book, Food Rules and Eater's Manual, to, don't eat anything your great grandma wouldn't recognize. And right there, you're eliminating most processed foods, which is
exactly. Exactly. You've received some great feedback for Wholey Cow, including I picked up this book from a meeting, and when I got home, I thought I'll just glance through it. Well, once I started, I couldn't put it down. High praise indeed. Of course, it goes without saying we all deserve to live a happy and healthy life. But no matter what, there are some people that just don't believe that processed foods and an unhealthy way of thinking is causing their health issues. How would you go about changing their minds?
Well, that's one reason I, wrote my book and, decided to become a health coach. I want to help spread the word about how important it is to get back to the basics of eating. And I think that the more that we talk about eating healthy, writing about it, sharing social media posts, doing um, radio interviews and that type of thing, the more we're helping to educate some consumers, and hopefully it'll, help drive changes in the way that, products are produced, or farming practices, and the food sold in grocery stores. And, by consumers buying, healthier foods, that is going to drive the change.
Absolutely. I agree with you. So tell me, Barbara, where can Book Talk Radio Club listeners purchase Wholey Cow?
Well, my book, Wholey Cow, A Simple Guide to Eating and Living, is available on Amazon, and you should easily be able to go there and purchase a copy.
Lovely. All right. Well, that's lovely. Thank you, Barbara. That was really interesting. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club again. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, healthy eating, and thank you everyone for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you, Barbara.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.